Rico, your latest blog posting, Matt Tapp 6, the Matt Tapp files. Can you explain to those who aren't so au fait with what's going on with the Matt Tapp files?
Right. Okay. What I've been trying to explain through my blog postings to the readers is actually the role Matt Tapp played in formulating his report on issues surrounding Operation Rectangle.
I think we should make it clear here that Matt Tapp is actually a media consultant.
He is a media consultant. Now, Matt Tapp has always he's been a character has always been on the back of my mind, because I've been aware of him and his report for quite some time, but I've just never got round to taking a look at it. So so in these postings, I've basically had a look at his role. And it all stems back to 2008 when David Walkup came to Jersey. He came to Jersey in August of 2008, followed by Matt Tapp. Now, Matt Tapp is an outside media consultant who does police work. I think he sort of he helps with the media policies of investigations. But he arrives in Jersey, I think in September 2008, and he had done previous work with David Walkup when David Walkup was at Northumbria Police. Now, it's quite hard finding out what went on with Matt Tapp and this report, because I was always under the impression that he came into Jersey, was working under David Walkup, and then through whatever reason he resigned or he moved on, and but his report still got made. And somehow his report then ended up in a court of law, which, you know, I found...
In a child abuse case.
In a child abuse
Wateridge
case.
and Donnelly.
That's right. And the judge at the time, Judge Pitchers, sorry, I should say, he was quoting this report in court as if it was... I'm calling it like as if it was the Holy Grail on Operation Rectangle.
As if it was fact, as if it was...
That's right. And nothing was getting... Nothing... You know, there was no challenge to this report. No one knows where this report came from. You know, what terms of reference, what exactly Matt Tapp was doing.
So you're saying the prosecution, the State of Jersey prosecution didn't, or the Attorney General's office, didn't question in any way, shape or form the Matt Tapp report?
I don't know. See, I don't know what the prosecution actually said in court, but I do know what Pritchard said from his judgment, you know, and you know, he's quoting from this report, but what's the validity of this report? So obviously I've started looking into it, and this is what my Matt Tapp postings are about, you know, especially because of the way the Jersey Evening Post absolutely jumped on every word Pritchard was saying, and Pritchard is quoting this report.
Matt Tapp report.
Matt Tapp report, you know, and like we've got like someone who's jailed for, say, you know, abuse. The Jersey Evening Post just went with the Tapp report nailing Lenny Harper and Operation Rectangle. It doesn't look right. This is what I've got to come back to. Like, this is why it just didn't look right. And if it doesn't look right, you've got to have a look at it.
Very much like you did with the BDO. And look what comes from that.
This is so similar to the BDO. You know, when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking this is just so similar. Like outside police consultant Mike Kellett working under Mick Gradwell at the States of Jersey Police. So I contacted the former Chief of Police, Graham Power, like, you know, because obviously Graham Power was still the Chief of Police up until the November 12th, 2008. So he must have had some idea as to what was going on. And as you can see in today's blog posting, it's quite revealing. It looks like Matt Tapp came in. It didn't work out with the States of Jersey Police, or Graham Power wasn't happy with what Matt Tapp was doing. And then somehow he then seems to be working for Bill Oagley, who was the Chief Executive of States of Jersey, Frank Walker, who was then former Chief Minister, and David Walkup, who was the Deputy Chief Police Officer.
So this is what it looks like at the minute. This actual report, the Matt Tapp report, was commissioned by, correct me if I'm wrong, by Bill Oagley and Frank Walker, and used as evidence in court. Is that? This is what it's looking.
This is what it's looking like to me. I'm just like, the more I investigate and uncover these things, the more I'm just thinking, what the hell is going on here? like, because it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense, you know. And well, the bigger picture here is it all leads up to the suspension of Graham Power, because
all avenues lead to well, basically the child abuse that went on in Jersey, and to cover it up. But your Matt Tapp files and certainly this latest posting basically puts a complete new picture on things, doesn't it? To what the establishment line has been and what the state media have been putting out.
It's hard to put. I mean, I'm struggling to put it into words of what I'm uncovering here, because the ramifications of everything is huge. Because you've got to remember, like, you know, David Walkup and Mick Gradwell were basically running Operation Rectangle from, say, September of 2008 up until they both left their post. You know, the Jersey child abuse investigation was in the hands of these two men. We have Mick Gradwell, you know, who was well documented, leaking information to David Rose and the Daily Mail. We now have this report from Matt Tapp, which seems to be commissioned by David Oakley, Bill Oakley, sorry, David Walkup and Frank Walker. And I you know, when I look at the answer to the former Deputy of St Mary, Daniel Wimberley, asked a question in 2010 of the Home Affairs Minister about the role of the media consultant. And it's up on my blog posting. Now, the reply from the Home Affairs Minister, Ian Lamocca, doesn't tally in with anything that the former Chief of Police Graham Power says. There's a huge question mark over this Matt Tapp report and how it was put together, and, you know, and given out as if it was, you know, totally gospel. It's not right. You know, like I say, you know, I'm struggling here just being in front of the camera to explain it, because it's so simple, but yet it's quite hard to, because, you know, explaining this is going to the very heart of our government, you know, of how
everything operates,
how they shaped it, you know, and it all leads to the suspension of the former Chief of Police Graham Power. And you've got to remember, all these issues relate to one thing, and that's child abuse. This is what's behind everything, is child abuse. Now, did they do this because they were trying to protect the image of Jersey? Were they doing it because there was maybe people in high up places? I don't know what that answer is, but what I do know is it's not right. It doesn't look right, and you know, Graham Power once said it stinks. I think it absolutely does stink.
So, is there more to come?
Now, I am heading to a certain point here, and there is more to come. And what I'm investigating and researching at the moment is, I would say it's the ending of the whole Matt Tapp issue, the whole suspension of Graham Power. That's the journey I'm on. That's where I'm heading, and I will be there very soon. It's going to make uncomfortable reading for some people. You know, I feel confident I can say that because I know what I'm researching and where I'm going, and it goes to the very heart of our government. And I research it, I will put it out there, and it's up for other people and politicians to make of it as they will. But it's very serious, very serious.
And I suppose it remains to be seen if any of Jersey's state media will report on any of it.
This is the problem. See,
a
lot of people have made their bed in Jersey. You know, it has been like you're either on that side or you're on that side when it's come to the Jersey child abuse investigation, and it's going to get uncomfortable for the people who went with the so we call them the Jersey establishment. It's going to get uncomfortable, but they're in a position now where they can't all of a sudden go, because the people made their beds. You make your bed, you've got to lie in it. You know, you've got to face the consequences. And there's some serious issues coming down the line. And it's going to be going under the heading of Operation Tumour.
Operation Tumour, I haven't heard of that one yet.
Well, that's all I'm saying at the moment. I cannot divulge anymore, but you know, I like to keep my readers and viewers in the loop, and it will be coming out. All I'm going to say to people is keep reading, keep following, and spread the word of what's happening, because I am going to be posting it all, and it's not going to make for comfortable reading.